Just give a thumbs up from all y'all. Still waiting on Brittany to give a thumbs up. There we go. Music's on if you guys are interested. I burp away from the microphone, and if we're ready, let's go.
We are good.
With sloping masks and dripping prow, as who pursued with yell and blow, still treads the shadow of his foe, and forward bends his head. The ship drove fast, loud roared the blast, and southward we fled. And now there came both mist and snow, and it grew wondrous cold. And ice, mast high, came floating by, as green as emerald. And though the drifts, the snowy cliffs, did send a dismal sheen, nor shapes of men nor beasts were ken, the ice was all in between. Having braved the northern wastes, meeting with Goliaths, blizzards, and mammoths, the Borealis have made their way to the edge of the dale. Overlooking the sea of moving ice is the fortress prison of Revel's End.
Excuse me.
Said to be where the most dangerous criminals of Faerun are kept away from society. Within these soot-soaked walls lies a chance for the group to bring themselves to Grimskalle and hopefully save Atrin. Here is where our stories continue tonight in IceWind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Session 26, Brine, Laden Tears. Now, with the party split apart, we have Astra and Tanzin being led through a long, narrow hallway. Powerful, non-flickering lights shining down on the floor of Revel's End as they are being taken to the processing area to recover what is a completely legitimate and in no sense falsified bounty of Shander Froth. The others remain in the southwesternmost tower, bringing the sleds and sleigh in, and their axe beaks finding the heated shelter in the stable's prison of the tower. But moving along, with Astra and Tanzin. The hallways narrow, but you are immediately taken into a false wall, heading right. Upon entering, you find a small set of rooms with more guards preparing for their day as you enter through another narrow hallway, being twisted and turned and somewhat losing direction as you enter through a mess hall, moving to the kitchen, and very quickly moved around. Can I get a insight check from both of you?
Ooh, that's a 19 plus 5 for 24.
18.
Alrighty. You are both very aware that they are trying to mislead you and not have this pathway known of how to get here, keeping it a little obscured. Finally, moving through far too many hallways, you are made your way into the center of the prison. This panopticon stares out, the harsh magical lights blaring out in all directions, not a single shadow left obscured, as hundreds of individuals are kept here. But unlike most prisons, it is almost deathly quiet as you walk through. While the area itself is kept warm, it's not comfortable. And the guards still move through in heavy clothing. As you move through into the center guards room, you can see a number of magical devices being operated as you are led through a spiral staircase up the tower. Finally, after a few 100 feet of climbing, you are brought to processing. The guard bids you guys adieu and heads back down the stairs. As a woman with short black hair and a red and gold robe step forward, wearing a chain of office. Hello. I've been made aware of your presence. You're here to collect a bounty. Shanderfroth would have been taken from you guys and placed into a holding cell by a number of guards upon your entry. But even now, you can see where he is kept in the large panopticon. The windows all along the outside of this room.
Are you in my head?
Yes, I'm still in your head. I was just gonna say, like, on the way up, could I have been, like, humming the... Gosh, hold on, I gotta find it. The Shining Crown song?
Absolutely, you're more than welcome to.
Just along the way, just to see if I could pick up if people working there or the prisoners or something, so I can get a vibe on
Of course, in this very quiet area, your song kind of echoes out, but doesn't seem to have many responses.
Okay. Then I will, I'll hand over the bounty and just say, originally this was a smaller find, but there have been developments since we took this bounty. And I'm Astra, this is Tanzin, our compatriots are downstairs with us, Uwale and Luso, Jolith, Lucy.
The woman picks up the piece of paper and examines it, and she's going through it with a very careful eye. She herself hums a bit. And you would recognize this as the wizard's tune.
Okay.
Like, Astra recognizes it as the wizard's tune?
Astra would, yes. You might have heard the song a couple of times, Tanzin, but it's kind of has no special meaning to you. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the cash at hand for this. My apologies. My name is Warden Marta. You may call me Warden Marta Thanos. As she looks over, you can see her hand is running over the script, and she has 10 rings set upon her fingers. That as she runs over, they seem to clink and clatter and glow a slight bit. Where did you have this issuing bounty from? Which major city?
I think.
Bryn Shander?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
So you had it from 10 towns? As opposed to, because 10 towns are all towns. I'm
Yeah.
saying a city. Which issuing city?
the Undercity where the Temple of Saloon is, so I could keep it as authentic as I could. Is
The Undercity?
that what it's called? Where the temple is? No.
Yeah, usually the Undercities are drow cities.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Waterdeep,
Help!
Waterdeep.
Ah.
Accurate.
The hand going over, you would see each one of the rings lighting out in turn, having a different emblem on them. And the one of Waterdeep kind of shines slightly. Strange. I am not finding anything that's listed here. Where did you collect this bounty request from?
I brought it out with me from the temple. Kind of why I was journeying out here.
I see. Well, this might be a bit of something on our behest. Sadly, out here, and we do lack a bit of the most modern usage of accounting. And please give me a moment as I speak with the counselors.
Of course.
I can alert you and any of your friends that you wish to come with you, and when the hearing will be held, and we can issue the bounty after this is done. And she stands there as if waiting for you guys to go.
Then we can take our leave. Is there anything else you require from us?
Well, it's not like you'll be going anywhere. I believe you said that your allies were out there, and she pushes her arm out, and right now the windows are set so you can see just outside of the prison as well as just inside at the top of the panopticon. The glass kind of mirrored sideways. And just at the front of where you'd entered in, by the tower where everyone was brought to, she motions that way. It looks like there might be another blizzard coming in soon, so it's best not to travel. But if you'd like, as to not have to spend the night sleeping with our dogs as well as your beasts, we could have some rooms set up for you and yours. Would that be all right? A number of our counselors have not taken the chance to return to the Dale in the last few years.
That would be more than appreciated. Thank you.
All right. I will see what can't be done about this.
Excellent. Hey, Tanzan, let's go.
All right.
It's not safe. This isn't Ed. It's not quite safe for us to have a normal conversation by the sounds of it yet, so hold on. We'll go get Joe and Lucy.
Can I talk back to you in my head?
Mhm.
Be like, I don't trust being let to stay inside. The fact that I don't know where we are, really.
We are at Revel's End, which is a prison.
I meant inside the prison.
There's a map in Ice Cold Lore, in case you forgot.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll explain when we get to the others, especially because Joe will need to hear this.
So we're in the
As
stables?
yes,
Okay.
that'd be the bottom left.
So we went all the way from the front to the back, or is the front not facing the sea?
The front is not facing the sea. The
Oh,
back
I
is
see.
facing the sea.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
That is quite all right. But as you guys go to leave, just stepping outside and going down the stairs, there's another guard waiting there. He reaches his hand up to the side of his head. Excuse me. I believe I am to escort you down to your rooms.
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Yeah. Moving on. And then just continues walking.
Secret Service.
Yeah. This shit's tight.
I have eyes on the president.
As you're being brought down, there's a different route that is taken. Again, very circuitous. But you are brought from the transmogrified stone area into the existing stone structures. Into a rather small set of chambers. They're quite big rooms, each one being a very lavishly set room, just past the actual mess hall that you had passed through before. Each room is about 20 feet by 60 feet. Has very nice king-sized beds stretching out towards a room that would be what you might see as a very high-end hotel. Silks and draperies put on the wall. Yep. Sorry, tapestries, not silks. Tapestries set up, as well as soon as you walk in, the room seems significantly warmer than the ambient 20 degrees. The guard leading you would make mention. You're more than welcome to move around here. Please be careful. We have some counselors still here. They've been moved up to the front rooms, but just be aware that there's official business still going on here. Dinner will be in a few hours once the shift rotation comes in. Hopefully you like knucklehead trout. It's the bulk of what we got here right now.
Lucy's ears are burning in the distance.
Trout.
One request if you're going to be staying here. I will need any weapons and armor put into the armory for your stay. It's a request by any individual staying within here who is not an active member of the Gods Party.
Fuck. Any weapons and armor?
Yep.
And sorry, are we all together now, or are they
Nope,
just
you
talking
guys
to?
are
Oh, I understand. I'm so sorry.
You guys, that's all right. They are going to be asking you the same question very shortly. Don't worry.
How conspicuous is my axe?
Well, if you had 2 dinner plates and made them out of morphed metal hanging upon your waist, it'd be pretty conspicuous.
There are no weapons here. Um, you know, I'm fine giving up my armor, but this axe just has a lot of importance to me. It's not necessarily that I know how to use it, and she like takes some really pitiful swings. Be like, see, like I don't actually know how to use it, but I just really can't be without it.
I'm very sorry. I understand cultural significance of someone's axe, but I can assure you that it will be safe. We have a number of specters actually on watch that will ensure that anyone coming to try take your weapon will be dealt with viciously.
Can I sleep? I'm like saying this to Astrid. I'm like, can I sleep in the armory? Can I escort my ex? I don't know how to get out of this. Mine is usually just to kill people that try to take things from me. But I'm trying to be better than that, so...
As this long silence drags on, he's still holding his hands.
Argue medical condition. Medical condition.
Fuck. I kind of go really crazy. Crazy. No one else can touch this axe. They will also go crazy. So, can't
Is
give
it?
it to you.
I see. We do have a number of individuals who can deal with magical curses on hand.
Ooh.
If it's just a light enchantment, we might be able to subdue it temporarily.
We could try.
Hold on 1 minute.
Sorry to be an inconvenience.
He raises up his arm, and he's not making any attempt to hide it. Hey, yeah, I'm just in the counselor's quarters. We have a potential cursed item. Is prisoner 237 still available?
Damn.
Yeah.
230.
Yeah, get him out of confinement. Prepare him for potential curse removal. Yeah. Counselor, room number 4. All right. Hopefully we can deal with this, and if not, unfortunately, you will not be able to reside within these walls.
That's okay.
Without,
I mean, I could sleep outside if it doesn't. It doesn't. Yep.
it doesn't really. We don't want people sleeping outside.
How did you become a member of the guard?
I was hired.
Ah. Do all guards work here?
The old get hired route. Huh?
I mean, most guards that work here work here.
What if I was like a scout or something?
Oh, you mean you want a vetting pro? Are you looking for another occupation?
Always.
We're not really hiring right now.
Oh,
You need
I
to head
mean,
down to the south to be hired by a representative of
okay.
one of the
Well,
other town or
okay.
cities, and then sent up here after specific
Okay.
training.
It's okay.
It's not just a hire on the spot kind of thing.
Dang. Well,
My apologies.
it's good. Yep.
But besides the cursed item, I am more than ready to take any and all of your weapons and armor and place them in a secure location, which we will fetch for you upon your leaving.
I hand over a small hand axe. That's not my hand axe, but a different hand axe. That's the only other thing I have.
Takes that, and you're not wearing any sort of armor?
Oh, studded leather.
He still waits.
Take off my studded leather. Look at Astra.
He turns to you. Astra,
Do the thing. Please do the thing.
you are muted, by the way.
The shunk, 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 shunk.
I don't have
Endless
that much.
weaponry.
It's too heavy to have that much with our capacity, or I totally would. But I have 4 daggers and 1 short sword, and would a hammer be qualified as a weapon?
Is it a tool hammer or like a hammer?
I think it's a tool hammer, but technically in any hands it could be a weapon. Let's be realistic. So Astra will put hand that over to, thinking it's like weapon.
And he's going to make a quick check. Can you roll a deception check? I'm assuming you're trying to hide struck cord.
Is it deception or sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
15.
Alrighty. He does not seem to see it.
It's just a fancy bracer. It doesn't look like. It looks like a fancy armband.
Maybe it's in the difficulty of holding all these daggers. As well as
And
the
a
armor.
hand axe.
Jolith is for some reason experiencing a mild panic attack, but he's not sure why.
And Astra, are you wearing any armor?
I will hand over my. I think I'm just wearing leather. Pretty sure I'm just. Yeah. Yeah, I've got studded, so yeah, that will be. I'll hand that over.
Alrighty. Takes it. Steps outside as another guard steps in place as they swap positions. They confer quickly about the anti-magic team coming. And goes off. To jump quickly over to the stables, you guys have also been asked.
So we're doing a smash cut?
Yes, smash cut.
Tight.
After getting everybody settled and things in, everyone or the guards looking a little more warily at you.
Why would you do that?
Kind of get you guys to sit around, kind of wait to see what's happening, and then they seem to be contacted all at the same time. They look quite a bit more relieved. They inform you that you'll be moved to another set of rooms that are quite a bit more comfortable. The owl bear, your pet polar bear, and the 4 axe beaks will have to wait in the stables.
Yes, our pet.
But you are going to have to hand over all weapons and armor.
Did you say armor?
Yes.
Like only if we stay inside, right?
Yes.
Well, we'll just stay outside.
We really don't recommend it.
Well, I mean, we've been outside for what, 5 days? 4 days? How many days we've rolled? Another night isn't going to change much.
No, that is your choice. We're not going to force you to stay in, of course. We do have some food on the menu, though, if you're looking to eat. I know that these long travels have been something. Unfortunately, it's just knucklehead trout. But
Oh. Freshly caught.
of course, we're on the side of the ocean.
What are you thinking, Joe?
Well, Because to call this armor is a little. I know it looks like it, but the more accurate term would be more of a life support system. I know I don't look it as the helmet kind of like is like up and everything, but I was in
Are
a
you
terrible.
saying?
I.
Are you saying that you're unable to remove the armor?
I'm saying that the armor is actually
Guidance.
the armor is supporting. I lost at least, and I'm like, as to demonstrate, I'm like, I'll show you what I mean. As I like peel back, as I like take some tools out and take off part of the glove, so then they just see the mechanics.
And Lucy,
And as you can see, as suddenly like part of the armor like pops open and like show, it's just like. Shh. I look and I'm like, just it opens up and like I step out and I'm just like,
are you sure? I mean, we can wait
as
outside, Joe. It's all right.
well, I think I would personally like to get it. I want to be warm and my own personal. It will be kept safe.
The safest.
Excellent. Don't try putting it on. It is specifically tailored to me. Anyone else attempting to put it on will likely be crushed by the internal mechanisms.
Understood. Thank you very much. Boys, let's move it. As like two people come and grab each side of it and like lift it up as it ragdolls over a little.
Yeah, it's just.
And then they wait for all weapons and armor to be handed
Honestly,
over.
like I got rid of all other weapons, so that was literally all I had. Let me double check. Yeah, no, because with that goes the way I'm kind of putting it. That goes with my shield. So yeah, I do not have any other weapons.
Okay. And Lucy, do you hand anything over?
I don't want to.
None of us do.
Never. I don't want to take off my armor because it's my armor. So fuck this guy for wanting to take my armor away from me. I also don't want to sit outside by myself. I'm willing to, but that's not very fun. This is kind of a family heirloom.
I can assure you that I can show you the room that it's being kept if you'd like.
Here's the thing. This has been passed down from my grandfather to my father to me from my gran. And well, everyone who's ever held it has either died or disappeared. If you know what I'm saying.
Is it a cursed item? We run into those on occasion. People coming through here.
Well, I don't know for sure. I just know that, my grandfather is dead and my father has disappeared. And of course, there was a speaker who held it and he was kind of murdered. So you can see my hesitation to give it up.
I think we might have something that can help with that. Hold on 1 minute. And a very similar call gets issued out. And
She looks very
what do you
genuine,
mean
though.
he's already busy? Damn. Well, I'll get these to holding and then we'll have someone else come and collect this one.
As Joel is like, I'd love to go inside. Actually, yeah, that'd be wonderful.
I will take off my hide armor though. Like I stand there and I kind of look kind of unbothered by the lack of armor.
And then Yuale also, for some reason, completely gives up her armor and weapon without any hesitation.
Pretty sure she can just morph into whatever weapon she needs to at this point.
So Lucy looks over at Joe. Is there any way you can make this look like it's just the normal walking staff?
Uh,
I really don't know what'll happen if someone else holds on to it. I'll be honest.
well, what if I had Oculus transported?
Open your bag.
Are the guards around?
There are a few guards around, but
Oh, I thought
if
they all
you
left.
guys, not all of them have left. There's still one by the door, but not really paying much attention. So a group check for sleight of hand.
Can I use Druidcraft to make it seem like there's some kind of draft coming in to like try and distract the guard so he thinks that a window's open or whatever?
You can do that, and it will give you, or Joelith, advantage. It's your choice of who you want to give the advantage to on the sleight of hand for the group check.
F2.
Same. So go ahead, take it. I'll roll normal.
I know
Just
this is my idea.
As I'm kind of like, as I kind of slyly try to hold the bag open.
Oh! 17 plus 2 for 19.
All right, that's 13.
Don't hold your fingers up at me.
But it's 50% to pass the group checks. So you only really needed one of you to pass anyways.
Okay, good. Woo!
So stumbling a little bit as you get the bag open, you have it disappear. The next person comes back. All right, we'll have the prisoner disenchant this item. Oh, where did you...
I gave it to my polar bear friend, actually. I just realized that it was like only humanoids that this is affected, so I'm taking the chance.
Roll a deception.
19 plus 1 for 20.
There's a very long staring contest going on because he rolled 19.
Oh no!
She just smiles at him.
Yeah. And it's like, not sure. And then the polar bear is holding a stick, and no one's going to take the stick away from the polar bear. Not sure if it's the right one. Cancel the request. It's going to stay with the polar bear? Yes, a polar bear. Yes, in the stable. Right next to the owl bear. Yes, an owl bear. Yes, untrained staff are supposed to stay away from the stables. All right.
What? We're fucking ridiculous.
Thank you very much for all of you complying. We'll see you to your rooms.
Thank you.
Icicle's just in my pocket, by the way.
That's fine. No one's gonna be... What's this fucking piece of ice doing here? As this is going on and things have been moving around, you two are still in the room. There's a soft knock at the door. And then it opens and the guard looks flustered, salutes a little bit, and then leaves. As Marta steps in and closes the door, and then looks very quickly between Hansen and Astra, and then kind of eyes land on Astra, tilting the head slightly.
I will link us up mentally and say, would this ease your worries for having a private conversation?
Her eyes flicker a little bit as, even though this doesn't seem new to her, strange that it's coming in this point. I was mostly just worried that if they were trustworthy. What is another herald doing here? As she steps forward.
Well, there's a long story. Tanzen's been my traveling companion throughout this whole endeavor. I was sent here. That part is true. By the Waterdeep. I've made contact with another agent,
Herald.
in Bryn Shandar, and have kept them up to date on everything I've discovered. The journey has brought us up here, though, and we really need that airship to help. And I think she'll talk about the Black Knights and what she's discovered about that so far, and the linkage of Nerith and Chanderfroth, and that there's movement from the Brotherhood about the whole interesting interaction at Craig Duval.
Marta listens very patiently. And your friend here is just a watcher?
Unofficial help.
Unofficial, I see. No, Go ahead. What was your question?
I was like, are we still linked? So can I hear this conversation?
No, not this one.
Okay.
I'll just say, give me a moment, we're going to have a talk before we start into this. I haven't told the rest of them.
I see. Is she a trustworthy ally?
Yes. I've just been operating under the Temple of Saloon instead. It's a little bit of a easier, more believable cover story as opposed to the organization.
Understandable. She turns to Tanzan.
Who's trying to look as dopey as she can. She's just like,
A very discerning eye comes over you and lingers on the axe. Your friend here says that you're an ally. Now, this being out in the open.
mm-hmm. I am. Her goals are my goals right now.
And what if those goals were to misalign?
I don't see how they would.
But what if they did?
Like if I didn't believe in her cause.
Sure.
I don't see. I wouldn't abandon my friend.
That's what I
I would
wanted to
just.
hear.
Okay.
She reaches out and touches Nightmare.
She
She's not taking it from you.
don't. Before she can touch it, I'm like, don't touch
Tanzin.
it.
Tanzin. She can help.
No, God. Okay, but like you can't touch it because like then I will kill you, and neither one of us want that. So
For half a second, you see a bit of cheek movement turn and eye flickering as she kind of lets out a very controlled laugh.
well, I mean,
And
I don't want to die.
her
So
accent switches for a second into a deep dwarvish, even though she is a human woman. And it's like an on-spot dwarvish, like raised by dwarves. And goes along the lines of, "Don't worry, little thing. Even if you try to defend myself, death can't stop me from my goals." And then with that half-second flick back, she just goes, "Here." And she touches Nightmare, and it disappears. It's still in your hands.
okay,
It's just invisible.
okay. Okay, no, it's fine.
I understand that this is important to you. It's wrapped up in a number of different things. I'll say that I destroyed the item. But if I find that any of my men have been even threatened, you won't be able to stop me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful.
I think you meant mommy.
Yeah, I know. Mommy, sorry.
Wonderful. Please hide that as best you can.
She clips it onto her belt.
She turns back to Astra and begins casting a spell as a film covers the entire room. It is now safe to speak here. You're looking for an airship.
The specific one that another comrade got impounded. We were hoping that we could kill two birds with one stone. Bring in Shander and make a trade, make a bid, attempt to pay off.
There is currently a request from the cities to repurpose this possessed airship and this repossessed airship and return it for supply rounds. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. Unless the fines are paid, there's just too much wrapped up in it. That being said, this, and she would pull out the forgery for Shander Froth. I can process this. And I might be able to shift some funds around to put a bigger dent in the fine. But I can't completely pay for it. That is still outside of Any that I can pull.
We didn't come empty-handed. We figured it wouldn't be the be-all, end-all. There are
Sorry.
both. We were just in good mood, actually, solving the issue of not only the murder of the late Kendrick, but other events that happened there. I'd be happy to offer a casket or two of the mead as well. I know that is something that goes for a pretty silver piece? Pretty gold piece or two?
We might be able to work something out then. My advice would be to spread rumors of the potential of a resupply of good mead around some of the gods this evening. And then, being it as a request from a number of underlings to a higher up, I might have to make some managerial choices. Does this sound, along with the amount of reward that you would have received for this Shander Froth, as a potential to pay off a majority of the fines?
I think that would be fine. Tansen's good at rumors.
Wonderful.
The song you were singing, are the wizards the prisoners or amongst your guards?
There's always ears with the prisoners. Their connections are wide-standing. Many of them are aware of the meaning of the behind the shining crown. But you sing it in a way that I do not hear heralds often do. Are you a new convert as a herald, or you struck me more as a woman of action?
I was given a chance to get out of the temple. My gifts are better suited for espionage than for translating old texts.
I see. You made the transition to a blade, then?
No, I am still but a shadow. I am still but a shadow.
Shadow.
Harp shadow.
Harp shadow is the rank, but your position is a blade.
Oh, am I a blade? Ooh.
Yes.
I guess I am a blade.
Sure is cold here. Makes you forget everything.
I don't have them.
I understand. I made the transition the opposite way. I used to be a blade, and I am now a bright candle herald. Sometimes those who can switch between different worlds are required for this line of work.
People skills are a little bit awkward.
That's why you have me.
Said in the most awkward manner possible.
But yeah, I do things more actiony than talky. Didn't think this would be the first place I got sent, but Starting to see why I was.
It's the full front. Things tend to fester out in the corners of the world where eyes don't watch. That's why we need to be ever vigilant. My men are unaware. I am the only one who resides within Revel's End. So if you seek an audience with the... As she eyes over towards Tanzan, members of Saloon, please come asking for me. You never said your name. Just sang your song.
I am Astra.
Understood. As she steps out and touches the door, the film that surrounded the room is gone. And as she goes to leave, there's a number of guards coming up with a prisoner in heavy furs. He goes, "Oh, hello, prisoner 237. Unfortunately, your services will not be required."
And I peep around the corner to see what he looks like.
You don't even need to peep around the corner. You can just see him because he's just right
Oh.
there. Kind of got mutton chops. Bit of a growth, but he has shaved somewhat recently. Looks a little beaten and bloodied, but he's healing. And he looks a little bit dejected. But then he goes to say something and says, that's enough. Maybe for the fact that we've gotten you out, we can call this an early relief from solitary.
What did he
My
do?
apologies. Good day. And then he is turned and taken back. And as you guys are being led through, this prisoner is being pulled out. And that's when his eyes turn and sees all of you traveling up to the rooms. And spies.
Oh, sorry, that's...
Yes, you guys are being led to the
Us?
rooms.
So
yes.
we're
Yeah.
crossing now?
Yeah. You see him, and he kind of absent-mindedly turns his head, and then his eyes widen as he spies Jolith. And Jolith,
Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
yeah,
Fuck.
your eyes spy someone you're very familiar with.
Uh-huh.
He is a member of the Arcane Brotherhood named Valish Gant.
Okay.
VAL?
VAELISH GANT.
Thank you.
Roll a history check for me.
Alrighty.
I was secretly hoping it was gonna be Jeff,
Hey.
your nemesis.
We always called him Jeff. No. 17. Nope. 17 was the roll. 23 was the total.
Oh, much better. He was actually one of the Arcane Brotherhood that you had been hired, or who had hired you a number of times, directly working with the host tower in Luskan. He was an abjurer by trade.
Yep.
but he always had aspirations of working more. You had heard something had happened to him in the heist that occurred over in Waterdeep.
Mm.
Not much is known, but it seems that he has ended up here at Revel's End.
Was he now like was he part of the deal specifically for Oculus?
Not specifically for Oculus,
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
but he is aware, and it's been since,
Yeah.
so he is spying you and holds back just a second to say, "Why, hello, Jolith."
What's his vibe to Jolis? What's his intent here?
Well, you can roll an insight check real quick.
Fucking will. 19 plus 6 for 25. This dice is kick-ass.
He very clearly knows Jolith and is very clearly aware that his presence here is dangerous for Jolith and might get him back in the good graces of the Arcane Brotherhood.
So he's kind of got that wolf licking his chops kind of.
Yeah, a starving wolf finally finding a piece of meat. And immediately, as soon as he stops and speaks, the guards are on him, grabbing him at the shoulders, even though he is restrained.
I put myself between him and Jolith. Automatically.
Oh, that's enough. I didn't mean anything. And then Joel, if you would just have something hit your chest and catch there. A
It hits him.
small.
Even though
Yeah.
I'm in front.
Yes. I rolled a
Wizards.
sleight of hand check to see what he could do.
Fuck wizards.
And there's a small rock that has hooked onto your shirt. And you can see just the slight twiddling of fingers from Valish as he is drug off. It's so nice to see all of you, as he is brought in the corner, and not a single word out of you, wizard, and shoved into a prison cell. The slightest little bit of laughter trickling out.
Seeing the rock and knowing that, do I know what he did?
He is going up and touching it. You would know that it is message has been kind of recorded on it, but with a speed that you have never seen someone do before.
Lucy spins around and looks at Jolith. Are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
You don't have to lie.
Oculus comes down and grabs the rock and holds on to it, and as I open it up, you could he's trembling.
She takes one of his hands that's shaking. We can trust each other.
Yeah, I know. That you'd think I'd feel better that he's in this place, but
And she just kind of just brushes a little bit of hair away from his forehead. That's all right.
it isn't good. It isn't good that he saw me. It isn't good that and as Oculus drops it in, I just kind of absentmindedly just give Oculus just like a little scritch. And let's talk about it later and figure out what that is.
She doesn't let go of his hand as they walk away.
The guard, who is very more focused on them getting around the corner, comes back. He's like, my apologies. Sometimes we have to move prisoners around. Here, your rooms are just this way.
Has he been here long?
Unfortunately, it's been here a while, but
Mighty lonely then.
they get talkative. And he would lead you through the dining hall where all the tables have been pushed to the side at the time. And you can actually see the kitchen staff through the dining room area, kind of preparing large amounts of food. But you are whisked past there into the small rooms, where you guys would have the 4 rooms surrounding Astra's and Tanzin's. Each room is large enough for for more than 2 people to sleep in, but they've kind of assigned you each 2 to a room, just
Is that
assuming you would sort yourselves out.
in the south where all the beds are, or in the triangle?
Since I do not have the map open,
Sorry.
it's in the rooms that are clearly labeled on my map.
Yes. Many
Yes,
clear
okay.
labels.
Yes, the bottom right.
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
Gotta now minimize that and open up this again. You would then be left alone with a guard waiting at the end of the counselor's hallways, but they're 30, 40 feet away from you. And definitely not behind the same doors.
Well.
Are we all together, or it's just Joe and I?
No, you guys are all
Okay.
together. It's kind of like you see everybody being brought in, and you are informed that your allies have been moved into the room next door. Anything that you guys need, just let them know, and they might be able to help out. Gotta be friendly in the Dale.
Well, thank you. We'll let you know if we need anything.
I'll just be at the end of the hallway.
Thank you. So, how was the meeting with the warden? And as you're talking, Joleth is his like prosthetic hand is just rhythmically tapping his fingers. Just
Fine.
Do we have a boat then?
No.
I will link us up mentally. Like, it's not safe to talk too loud, so I will try to keep us all in this as much as I can. If I have to disconnect, it's because my hunch was right, and one of the contacts I have is here.
That's good.
Good, because they definitely knew it was a forgery for the bounty.
Okay.
But we're still going to get paid for it, and we can put it towards the airship. We just need to spread rumors about there being mead being brought in, possibly, to help.
Lucy just looks over at Tansin.
Oh yeah. She's like thinking that she's like, oh yeah, I'd like to go talk to that guy. Also, So Tamsin doesn't know that you know the guy, but when she saw him, she was like, "Poor pathetic creature, we need to help him." She's like, "Did you guys see the prisoner 237? He looks so sad."
We saw a prisoner. I
He
mean,
had like mutton chops and
I'm
I
sure
want.
Lucy just puts a hand over like Jolis twitching fingers.
Yes.
Tanzan, people,
Yes, I think we ran into him.
they're in jail because they did something bad. Like, we're taking Shander here because he did something bad.
Well, sometimes good people end up in prison.
Not this one.
Not this one.
I'm gonna go talk to the guard.
Ready to get started?
Oh yeah, why waste time?
All right.
We might.
The sooner we get out of here, the better.
I was gonna say, I got the warning that there were, extra unfriendly faces, but I'm guessing by the body language you already...
Ran into Vailish Ghent. This is all in the head. Member of the Arcane Brotherhood, who I worked closely with on several jobs. Knows my face very well.
Well, he can't get information out in theory.
I kind of I'll reach into the pouch and I'll pull out the stone, not activating it because I know specifically how to activate this kind of.
Mhm.
And I was like, he was clever enough to give me this before the guards took him away. I
It's not-
wouldn't count on him not having ways to get a message out. He might be imprisoned, but he's not incapable.
Well, fuck.
Yes, so there's a good chance that the Brotherhood will know I'm here.
Well, if we have to deal with them as we go, we will. They were going to keep the airship because they wanted to keep it for supply runs and drops. But we give the mead, spread the rumor around. The boys get excited that there might be something good coming. She's probably going to try and spring a bit more for Shander for us so we can attribute that to the fine and use that to help pay off for the airship.
Why don't we get some of that? Jameson says from the corner.
The meat or the airship?
Oh, mostly the mead. The airship's mine.
No.
Damn.
We might need all of it.
For your
Ha.
airship.
Mead, all of it.
It was a good one.
You're
Well,
very lucky some of us are connected in this place to try to get this back for you. And that you are going to help us with all of this because this is...
Absolutely. I know you want to get yourselves to Grimscully. And I'll get you there as best I can. I owe you more than just something that's worth more than all that gold that we're not going to talk about. You've got an ally for as long as you're still around.
Excellent, because you might have to do some community service as well.
I mean, you could actually probably build some goodwill by perhaps renting your airship to the cities.
Or not.
Or not.
Maybe.
Supply runs.
I mean, I do that already.
True. Well,
There's
Done.
just not a lot of money to be made in it.
Yet we're going to do it and try because this is going to cost us a lot, so we're going to pay it forward as best we can
I understand.
after we get to Revel's End.
We're already at Revel's End.
I mean,
From Scully?
after we get the person that we're looking for back.
Get the goods.
He's not a good. He's the best.
Well. Yes, go. Yeah,
All right.
do your-
Yeah, go.
Do you want some help with that?
Rumor spreading?
Yes. Yes,
right.
I do, Jameson, but you don't get any.
That's what you think. As he claps Tanzin's shoulder. All right, you take the skinny one on the left. I'll take the skinny one on the right. And he's going to give you, he's going to aid you in your rumor spreading.
Excellent.
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 I'll disconnect from Tanzin for a second and just Lucy and Joe and be like, I haven't told Tanzin yet, but I know the both of you know. I haven't told Uala yet either. Maybe once we're on the airship. Maybe later tonight. But the warden is a Harper.
Oh?
The only one in this place, though, so we have to be careful what we say and what we do. But
So kind of business as usual?
yeah.
You know.
But she's helped us with Tanzin's axe. It's been destroyed.
Oh,
Noted.
all right then.
Noted.
Yeah. I'll tell the others eventually. Just not fun being a secret spy with everybody knows your identity.
That's true.
But we're on business for the Temple of Saloon, okay? Just like
All
the
right.
cover story the entire time. That's still... Cool. Got it?
Aye.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I'll keep telling people I'm here to just help with moon stuff.
Oh yeah, Moon. Wrong phase. No good.
Not today.
Can't do it.
Not today.
Not today.
One more level and I can make that fucking joke.
Ah.
So, Tanzin's gonna spread some rumors. Is there anything you're gonna do, Astra?
I might wander about just to get an eye on the prisoners, see if there's more of the Black Knights maybe here. I could probably go and update the warden a bit more. I gave her the basics, but
If you can, ask her about Gant. And maybe well, fuck it. Give her a heads up. He might be causing more trouble than normal.
If you wouldn't mind, could you also ask her about the lodge?
watching Gant Lodge.
And Lucy just kind of looks over at Joe, like a little guiltily after she says that, and then looks down at her hands.
Please tell me you surrendered your weapons like you were supposed to.
As I'm like, as I look at her, like I'm in my like essentially almost like pilot jumpsuit kind of thing. And I'm like,
I have my armor.
Okay.
and what is kept in extra dimensional spaces is none of their business.
It's not in here technically.
No, it's not.
So I'm the only one that did the Good Samaritan. Actually, no, Uale looks like she doesn't have any of her stuff either. Okay, so there's two of us that did the Good Samaritan.
As
thing.
I look at her again, it's like, I literally gave up the only thing protecting me. The only thing. Aside from my friends, of course, which whom I appreciate, but it's like,
My murder weapons are right here.
oh, so as I pointedly look at the bracer,
It's just a
give up
bracer.
everything, huh? Uh-huh.
I forget I have it sometimes. It's just there.
That hurts. I spend a lot of time.
That's
and
good
effort.
quality ship if I don't even remember it's there. That's how comfortable it is.
That's the truth.
Fine, I'll take that praise.
The mammoth felt it. Don't worry.
Jordis fine goods.
Yeah.
Such well-made murder weapons, you'll forgot you killed somebody.
Such finely crafted goods. The blood just slicks off as easily as your conscience. Yeah, actually, I'll let Tansen do her thing.
All right, so you step out, and how are you going to try spread these rumors?
You could do it during dinner.
Yeah, I will join the guards for dinner. And while I'm drinking during the dinner with the guards, I will be a little flirty with them and Jameson and be like, "Oh my god, have you ever had good mead? Good mead? Like nothing compares to good mead. And like we've got 2 barrels of it, so like if you want to like buy it or whatever, this is good fish."
This is good fish.
This fish could use some mead.
Good
Yeah.
fish
You know what?
could use good mead.
You know, it pairs well with red fish, a white wine.
I don't. You know what? I would believe you because I drink so much.
So, go ahead and roll me a a performance check with advantage.
So that's 2 dice, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Performance is +3. Dang. Okay. That's an 18 plus 3.
21
Huzzah.
18,
still pretty
19,
darn
20,
good.
20, 21. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So, going through, you start being a little flirty and working your way in. You start going to a couple of different different tables as they're set up. Dinner, everyone is brought in, and there are like 50 people being served at the same time. It's not all of the guards, but it's a significant number of them. And you systematically go through to each of these tables, and you're like, you actually have like 3 dinners, but you don't really like finish one. And it's decent. It is like a grilled trout with a herb sauce, but it's like flour and water and a little bit of salt mixed with herbs. And a very watered down portion of rum, which is served with everything. And you're like, oh man, you'll be significantly better than this watered down swill. Some mead, You ever heard of Good Mead Mead? And everyone's like, of course we've heard of Good Mead Mead. It's literally the name of the town, and it's not that far from us. It's like, there's just nothing's coming. And you mention the 2 barrels, and you're like, oh, who are you delivering that to? Anyone? And then you mention it might be for sale. Depends on the right price. And it goes back and forth and back and forth. And you just kind of leave that there, that there's items for sale that you are trying to get rid of. And it's not illegally gotten. No one's going to come demanding that it be returned. It's fine goods acquired legally, ready for sale. And everyone believes you. And by the end of it, you can hear different groups of guards heading off to tell the other guardsmen by the end of a couple hours.
Nice.
During that time, besides maybe joining everybody for dinner, what is everyone else doing?
When there's a quiet enough moment, like, so the guards are just at the end of the hall. They're not, and this hall is
Oh, it's like 40, 50 feet.
40, 50 feet, and then like the room, and then the rooms are like separate, like doored off. Like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think like even like as Tanzin's like kind of going out and around and kind of making stuff, yeah, he'll actually take out the stone, and he's just kind of fiddling with it a bit and like tapping it and just looks up at Lucy. It's like, all right, and taps it.
It's a very short message. Very much pre-recorded. Storeroom, 10 p.m.
Hate him.
Interesting.
So he's done this before.
I mean, used to sort of a bit more as a clandestine drops, but suppose I have a meeting for tonight.
You aren't going alone.
No, I
My
should.
man is a wolf, Joe.
Oh, I know. I know.
And
very
without your
much.
armor, you are a sheep.
I am. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that warning. Be nearby, but I the fact that he can even be in the storeroom at 10 p.m. or some representative of his be in the storeroom at 10 p.m. tells me that he has a run of this place more than the warden knows. Which also means that if he doesn't particularly like the company I'm with, either we don't have the meeting at all, or something else worse happens. Be nearby, and I will have be nearby.
Of course.
Or Astra, what are your thoughts?
Don't meet with him because You're going to be seen as guilty if you get caught, and you'll be thrown in with him.
Though, I suppose not if the warden knows about it. And if perhaps something does happen and I am caught in collusion with this, that perhaps the warden was clever enough to have something on hand in case to figure out if several prisoners were acting unruly. What I'm asking is, can the warden back me up at least? and perhaps a good thing for her to know that her prisoners are apparently making appointments at such a late hour.
I'm not sure how far, but I will give her the heads up at least. She probably knows to a degree.
But he doesn't know about her and her connection.
No.
At least we hope not.
But if he did, I don't think he would have tried this.
Or if true. Either way. There are consequences when you are not when you don't do as you're told in the Arcane Brotherhood. And there will be consequences if I don't show up.
Just be careful.
I will. But I wouldn't have given to be a more clever person.
You're the cleverest man I know, Joe.
Oh, I'm intelligent. Intelligent and clever are two very different things. Only an intelligent buffoon would have involved himself with the Arcane Brotherhood in the first place.
Also true.
But you understand the mistake.
Yes. But right. I'm gonna need a drink before. That's for sure.
She gestures to the giant amount of mead that we now own.
That's bargaining mead. I don't
Bargaining.
want to. Yes, that's bargaining mead.
Yeah, well, the other option is drinking whatever swill they have here. So
True, and unfortunately, I didn't have the foresight to make my own supply. Damn.
But airship, think of the airship.
That is an excellent consolation prize. I am going to turn that engine over, and it is. I feel Jameis. I suddenly feel. I feel as though he's suddenly got a whiff of fear somewhere.
Vengeful wrath of God.
Yeah. But yes. Actually, where is the storeroom in this place? I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know, and I don't know how to ask for that clandestinely.
maybe Astra can ask when she talks to the warden.
If you don't mind, Astra.
Yeah, sure. Or would I recognize what a storeroom is here?
You would be able to, from where you were, up in the top of the Panopticon, point out where your best guess would be, which would be the top left of the prison. Because as you were led through, you did see a number of doors, and each of the doors is labeled. These guys were not passed by one that led by the storeroom.
Okay, so if you're gonna the story, I think I'll explain it to Joe.
Top left, it's that room on that side of the map.
Does it have windows?
It does not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It's fucking cold outside.
So it's the furthest, like, it's that big triangle or the furthest
Yep.
little triangle? Okay.
The furthest little triangle is the tower.
Oh, okay.
And actually, the little spot that's closed off inside that larger triangle is the bathroom.
Oh.
And it's the only bathroom in the entire prison,
Jesus.
except for the private bathroom upstairs.
Jesus.
But Astra, you had said you wanted to sneak around. Are you going to break off and do that now?
Yeah, I'll do it quick. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the others doing besides waiting for potentially 10 o'clock?
But I still just be like,
You're
Spreading
still
my-
in the
yeah.
process of spreading rumors, yeah.
a little gossip.
After
Joel,
a few.
Lucy?
Well, Lucy would probably wait a little bit after like Astra's gone and sort of sit down next to wherever Joe is. I know what you're thinking.
Hmm. What am I thinking?
You're thinking about escape routes,
Hmm. Actually,
how to get out of it,
Uh,
or fight it, whichever one is your instinct now.
actually, I'm feeling more relief than anything. This whole time I've been, for years, I have been so worried about being found, being discovered, of them knowing where I am. It's actually just a relief. It's the worst possible thing that could have happened. Happened. And I'm still here.
She just, these tears just start falling down her face. Like it's like she's laughing at a joke that you don't understand.
Yep.
Like her own inside joke.
Hmm. And he's just laughing along with you too.
She just like leans on his shoulder. Do you trust me?
I do. Frankly, I wouldn't be here without all of you anyway.
I know what it's like to be hunted, Joe.
Hmm.
There's something I think you deserve to know.
Hmm.
Can I tell you a story?
I would love to hear it.
Okay. Some time ago, some centuries ago, really, a door opened between this plane and a plane of wild magic and endless sea. And there was a girl and her family. They made their way through the door and they traveled across the sea of moving ice. This one that we're beside right now. And eventually, they found themselves here in the shores of IceWind Dale, and they made a home because they couldn't find their way back to the place that they came from. And for a time, it was peaceful. But these people were different. They were well suited to land and sea because they had a secret. They were Fae. You see, they could change their form between land and sea with ease. And the mortals they found themselves surrounded by here were curious and covetous of what they could do. And they hunted them. And that girl lost her family and ran inward, inland, with a boy. And they fell in love, and they were together. And once again, they found another place that they could hide. And eventually, these two people decided to make a family of their own together. But fate had other plans. Lucy kind of gestures to the bag. There's that spear. It was this boy who became a man, and he found those hunters again. And when they returned, he was taken away. Everything was taken away. The only thing that the girl had left was a wee babe, her son, the last piece of the love of her life. And she raised him. And that boy, he met a girl, and that girl became my mother, and that boy became my father. And when that girl had her children, myself and my brother, he disappeared too. I wasn't kidding when I said the people who wield that spear disappeared or died. I meant it. That girl was my grandmother. Is my grandmother. She's still very much alive and walking around, as you saw her. What I'm trying to say, Joe, is that I'm not human. I never have been. And she starts to unbutton these little parts of her parka and slips the hood of the parka back. And underneath of it, you see the skin of a seal. And sort of slowly, she sort of pulls the entire parka off. And it's this spotted black and white seal skin worn across her shoulders like a coat or a shawl. And she's just covered in all of these like freckles, and she doesn't like underneath of the coat. There's just kind of this sleeveless tunic, and it's just covered in tons and tons of freckles, like a ginger has been in the sun for far too long.
he's just kind of like his mind is switching between this like his academic brain and just like the emotional like friend kind of thing, and he's kind of caught in it's just and that is it.
You want to touch it?
If that's all right, I'm it's he just kind of like gingerly just kind of reaches out and like runs his actual like hand over the skin, and he's just again like his brain is just he's fascinated with this, and he's just hmm.
We're called Selkie.
Selkie. Have I ever even heard like rumors of like Selkie?
You've heard little bits and pieces, but sometimes conflicting notes. Nothing concrete that you can think of.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wasn't even born human.
Hmm.
We're actually little seal cubs first. We become human later. Took me 4 years before I became an actual human baby. My brother was like running around on his little legs. Thankfully, it's very hard to run away when you got a seal babe. No legs.
Yeah.
We're very slow on land.
Oh. Hmm. Thank you for trusting me. I'm how anyone could want to hunt you is absolutely horrendous. Just hmm. The world is just full of wonderful people, wondrous things, and thank you for. Is this why the other night that you were so with Thuso, and when his change came upon him?
Yes. Good meat was a safe place because my gran and Kendrick had an understanding.
Hmm.
That's why it was so important that whoever was speaker there was a good person. I've been hiding my whole life, Joe.
Hmm. I'll tell you a little secret as well. You might not look it, but I wasn't born human either.
That is so scandalous.
You know, I wasn't even born an elf. And yet,
Oh
I was raised by one.
my god.
I know. Fascinating. But
There are hunters out there,
there are.
and they're organized now. They weren't before. And Aerith might be controlling them.
Well, your family. And that's what matters. And we'll be here to protect you. You're not alone. I mean, I'll be more effective if I get my armor back, but
And she just wraps him into this hug. She smells like sea salt and
mhm. And he just embraces. He just holds the hug as long. He doesn't say anything else.
eventually she pulls back and just presses her forehead against his. They aren't going to take you away from us. I promise.
Thank you. And any hunter that comes across our path will rue the day.
They sure did. I told you we ran into trouble.
That was really
They're all dead now.
good. Good. Well,
From here, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, just
As this scene ends, we wind the clock a little bit back as Astra is leaving and heading out to sneak through the hallways. You can very easily make it your way unburdened as you come out into the mess hall. But anywhere beyond that, you are somewhat met, Astra, with guards kind of aware that you're not supposed to be here and keeping a gentle eye out. So it's going to be difficult. If you are wanting to, I will need a stealth check to try get through the doors, and you have to tell me where you're planning on going.
Uh, I will try to see if I can find prisoner 237 if they have numbers above there. That's a natural 20 on my Vax dice again.
Nice.
For stealth, 26 total.
Alrighty. From that, you are very easily able to slip in as doors are closing, and even from this almost fluorescent lighting above, find those corners outside of vision to make your way through to the major holding cell. While now it's impossible to be completely seen, or to be completely unseen, you are getting a majority of the guards to not see you as you move through. There's no nameplates or labels, but you would see the individual of prisoner 237. Just from on his tunic, the numbers 237 on the back. Coming up and making sure that you're not seen by any guards. Are you trying to hide your presence from him as well?
No.
Okay. As you come up, who is sitting kind of in his cell, which is nothing but a cot and a small stack of books and no writing implements. See a somewhat degaussed haze over his cell. You want to roll me a Arcana check if you are proficient in it.
I'm not proficient in it, no.
Okay, then unfortunately, you don't know what it is.
Magic.
Wiggly fingers, that's what it is. But he comes up and... I'm sorry, do I know you?
You were supposed to be the person helping out with magic stuff, but maybe I'm mistaken. Probably am.
Well, sometimes my expertise is called upon when it comes to certain things outside of the wheelhouse of our warden's ability.
Hmm. I mean, the warden looks pretty strong and pretty powerful. I don't know.
Looks can be deceiving.
And what would you be offering?
Whatever do you mean?
Kind of stuck behind this. Must have done something either really stupid or really bad. I'm going to assume stupid.
Unfortunately, I did the most stupid thing someone could. Get caught. But if you're looking to attack my unwavering belief in myself, unfortunately, you'll find that I have ample ammunition to keep myself well prepared.
I can admire that.
And I can admire someone who is straightforward. What is it that you want? You wouldn't be hiding from the guards if you weren't looking to speak about something.
How good is your magic? Could you break a cursed item?
With enough time, absolutely. I can't do anything in this God's forsaken cell.
Well,
I don't have any of my materials. But give me a few days and I'm sure I could work something out.
You have connections here.
Doesn't everyone? Prisons are the best thing for having a number of crime organizations.
It's true. It's true. It's all centralized. So why haven't you tried to break out? You're that keen at.
Well, I'm not saying that I haven't, it's just the right opportunity has not presented itself. I mean, we are on the edge of the world, and honestly, I prefer to be warm as opposed to free right now.
Hmm. Well, I might have to gather my own resources, but maybe there's something we can work out.
Now, I've never seen you here before, and I believe that you must be connected to that group they brought in.
The group they brought. We brought in one person. Not a group.
No, you misunderstand. The group that arrived here. that were escorted by the guards into the councillor's chambers.
Yes, yes, yes. Just find myself needing some extra magic pizzazzle. And I saw you escorted to our room, but quickly taken away, so I figured you were talking a big talk, but just wanted to confirm it with my own eyes.
Well, if you would retrieve for me my components, I believe they are stored up within the warden's chambers, that I might be able to assist you in something. I could say that I would owe you one. I believe the term is said.
So broad, though.
That's the best thing, a blank check. Means you can fill it in with whatever you wish. And I would be forever in your debt.
It's pretty tough to crack. Let me think about this and see what I can do to get in. I need a better lay of the land first.
Well, you know where I'll be. I plan on living a long, healthy life here. As he's still covered in all of the bruises and stuff.
Yeah. Was this from running a mouth, or was this just because your face displeases the other prisoners or the guards?
Oh, the gods are quite kind. But it is the prisoners. Unfortunately, a number of attempted attacks on me. Ill conceived, to be honest. Happened the last time we had Yard.
Must have some very powerful friends if they want to come after you and here to...
I have friends all over the world.
Ooh, secret organized.
I'm sure I know of one or two, and if that's what interests you, I can be of assistance.
Are you with the knights?
No.
I just heard they were the really cool group to, you know, buddy up with around here. What I kind of thought, but...
Upstarts, if anything.
Something better?
There's always something better, my dear.
Not really good at the whole, like... But, I'm pretty good at the sneaking bit.
Well, if you can sneak me my equipment, I might be able to get myself out.
Challenge accepted. I will send word when I've got it for you.
Good luck trying to send a word here. But hopefully I will find something of my own belonging placed within my hands. And then I'll know it was you and who I have to thank.
I'm gonna pull the Cheshire and like the Cheshire Cat.
Alrighty, just 1 second. I gotta go turn off that beeper.
I don't like it.
I hate it.
I don't like it.
Well, big fish, little pond. And Lucy loves to eat big fish.
Mhm.
I kind of want to take him with us, but I have that urge about everything, so...
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of like taking evil villain guy along with you. I think it's a really fun trope, and there's like lots of great possibilities.
Tenzin, just
So I get your instinct.
stop collecting Arcane Brotherhood members. They're not cards.
I will never!
Like, this is
This one's a shiny.
That one is building me things, and he likes me!
I know,
Okay?
and I'm sure he can like you. He'd probably try to kill me and sell me.
He can like me as he doesn't like me?
I was about to say, oh, he can kill you. I'm like, Tenzin.
Okay, I
Hurt.
So, what is Astra doing after she fades back?
will quickly send a message to the group of Valish is creepy. I don't like him. Blech. And then I'm going to try to find the warden to have a quick talk.
I'm going to need another stealth check because you are leaving the somewhat perceived known area to a high potential for failure.
That's an 11.
Did you try psychically boosting yourself?
That was with a 3 plus a 2.
Well, you gotta really hope that that they miss you. Unfortunately, as you are trying to enter through one of the doors, you just have so many things that you're trying to keep focus on that you do not see the guardsman that you bump into as you are trying to slip in the door. It was two people going, and you were trying to be the third person to slip in, and you just could not squeeze in between. The guards turn. What are you? And they're looking around to try find your escort.
We got separated. It's really awkward.
You definitely should not be here. Please, you need to remain within the area that is safe. As they go to like take your arm and lead you back into the main area. What were you even looking for? As they like
I dropped a hairpin. Like a decorative one.
we will spread it around and see if anyone finds such a thing. And
Thank you. It's just, I sentimental value, and I don't want anyone that shouldn't have it in case, they do the old. I'm just worried about that. So klutzy.
they bring you back in, and once you're in the mess hall, they kind of break off to go track down whoever was supposed to be leading you around.
Fuck. Okay. Are they still talking if I come back, like, at the table? Like Lucy?
It's still going on. It's a couple hours long that Tenzin is boasting up this fantastically golden mead.
Doing great, Tansy. Doing great. Don't let Jameson drink any of it. And I'll just say, in mental link, Joe, I don't like the vibes I'm getting from him. We had a quick talk. He thinks I'm gonna help break him out. but I'm not.
Cool. I mean, yeah, no, he always gave me a weird vibe too. Yeah.
He's probably going to ask the same thing of you, but his components are with the warden. So don't give him anything.
Good. Well, lucky for me, I don't use components.
Ooh, I know that. Look, is Astra talking to you?
Oh, yeah, just say, yeah, I'm on the phone with Astrid.
Oh, what's she saying? Is everything going okay?
Just that Valish gives her a creepy. She visited Valish, gives him a creepy aura. Probably going to ask me to help him break him out or something. I don't know.
Oh, what did he ask for?
His component pouch.
Where is it?
It's with the warden.
Oh,
Far
he wants us to steal it for him, and then
well,
he'll get himself out.
yeah. Well, that Astra spoke with him, and then Astra is going. But I don't think. As I kind of back, I don't know if that'll be what he wants from me. Probably.
Don't you have a component pouch?
No, I don't.
Who does? Someone does.
I mean, I do, but I don't use it.
Astra does, but she doesn't use it.
Oh. Okay. It's like I knew someone did. I was like, someone's got a component pouch for some reason.
I am the only non-magic user, and I got it because I thought I was going to take cleric, which still could maybe happen. I don't know. But
Wait, why does Astra have a component couch? She has a component couch now.
Why do you have components? I've never seen you cast a spell. I know you do brain things, but that's just brain things.
Brain daggers.
Does Joe have long hair or short hair?
Long.
Right, you guys are chatting, and she's like idly braiding his hair while you're talking.
I don't know. Maybe Atrin will need it if I see him. Maybe I don't know.
Anyway.
Just be careful.
Tilt your head back a little bit.
Do you want me on standby? He knows that we were a group together.
I mean, I will take any help on standby as I can have. Frankly.
We're definitely gonna need to talk to the warden because the guards were really distraught, and hopefully I didn't get anybody in trouble, and I think I made a lie about a hairpin dropping. Which I wouldn't do because someone could use that to break out, and that's just stupid. But
well, in about maybe an hour or so, I'll have to go. I feel like I might have to go to the bathroom where apparently the storage room is. I think. So.
I'll see if I can find Marta really quick. But be careful. This is literally like we're gonna get thrown in if we fuck up, and I don't think we would like it here.
Kind of even after that, I'll summon like Oculus over, and I'll hand him to Lucy. Hold on to him. If I'm in trouble, Oculus will shut down. It's okay.
And she reaches into her like pocket and pulls out a little rock with like a little daffodil on it and hands it over to you.
Where's that little shit?
Hold on to this rock, and if you're in danger, it's a tell me.
You know, it was still a very mean trick.
What trick?
Making me think that we were being followed by imps.
What? I never made you think anything.
You didn't dissuade me of it either.
I mean, you know about the Feywild, don't you?
Things.
You can't help it's in your nature. You needed a distraction anyway. You worry too much.
I think that's a constant setting.
As Jolith prepares to leave the room, we are going to go into a brief 15-minute break so that everyone can stretch their legs, refill drinks, prepare themselves for the oncoming storm.
On the bright side, I can still spellcast because all I need are my tools, and I have those.
I can also still spellcast. 'Cause...
So, take away my
Oh,
spell.
weird. I can also spell cast.
I know, we're all just like, well, we'll see.
Valish, you're pathetic. He literally is useless without his shit.
No.
Oh,
mean,
what do
hey.
you mean you need us?
Wizards.
I'm just saying though, if they decided to take
Plebs.
my bag of holding, then I'd be useless.
Play games
Yes.
and drinkies,
Yes.
and we'll play sociables.
Yes, I think Jarashay deserves to play some social.
Yeah.
I will make one rule
Yes.
and one rule only. No rule may specifically target Aaron, except for
I-
this rule.
I definitely thought you were just going to say no green man, and I was like, well,
No.
okay,
No green
all right.
man.
I'm fine with
Purple
that.
man. There's a lot of colors.
Just saying. The last like
I've never even heard of this game.
Okay, so sociables is a drinking game where you just pick up cards and they basically tell you to play mini games.
Okay.
And some of the games are like, you have to drink. It's a very easy game. There's also other ones like Make a Rule, where you get to make a rule that if someone breaks that rule,
Mhm.
they drink. One of my favorite ones is the little green man, who's a little green man that sits on your drink. And you have to make sure that you get rid of him off of your drink before you drink. Otherwise, you have to drink again.
My favorite one that I made up was you had when you ask someone something, you have to call them by name and then add daddy after. And that was just the best night. It was just the best night.
When you get drunk enough, you don't care if you're calling your friends daddy anymore.
You assume I do now.
It was so much fun. I enjoyed that one.
They are. Alrighty, so we got our drinks. We
Yep.
got our foods.
Yes, I have a upset kitty who is upset that I stopped playing with him.
Oh,
He
I got a
looks so
cold
cute.
dog.
Yeah,
He's like on his little cat tree behind you. Little Goku.
Hmm.
God, he's so precious.
uh-huh.
Alrighty. Slipping right back in to Jolith,
Mm-hmm.
having decided after many hours' time passing to roughly 10 p.m. I'm also assuming Astra's going to try get in contact with Warden Martinus. There we go. Martinus. So
Yes.
would we like that to happen first, or Jolith going to meet Valish?
I would like the meeting to happen. I would like that to happen first. The warden thing.
Okay.
More assistance?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Like, even if it happens technically congruently, I don't care. I'll put that
I agree.
more barriers.
So how are you going to try get a message to her, Astra?
With my telepathy and my mind link.
Okay. What is the range of that?
Mind link is I just want to be at a higher level with a higher intelligence so I can just do the 120, 240. That's what I really want to do. Come on. Pretty sure it's 60 feet.
Okay. To be able to reach the warden's room where you were before, you would have to be 20 feet up in the central panopticon tower to be able to barely reach her. So you still would need to get yourself in there.
Can I ask one of the guards if they could perhaps fetch her, because other not business, more information needs to be shared with her. And I'll just try to keep like pinging out the message to see if she'll like come down within my range.
So walking up to the edge of the rooms that you were allowed to travel in is where you would kind of meet the guards and say that you wish to speak with her. They're not really wanting to take you up there. Can you try roll a persuasion check for me, please?
Natural 20
Damn.
on my other dice.
Well, going up, while you wanted it to be more secretive, you've decided that maybe the head-on approach is best. Not truthful, mind you, but direct. And the story you spin of information that has come to light from your time here and investigation, or of your investigating, might prove useful to the warden. And the guard just seems overwhelmed. Like a superior officer has come in and just started spouting at you everything that you need to know, and he is going, I don't know any of this. I do not. This sounds important. I don't want to get it wrong. I'll take you to her. Coming up to see the warden. Important information. Clear the lanes. And you are brought directly through, not with a circuitous route, into the panopticon. And as you are starting up the 170-foot stairs, you go past her office that you had met in before, up to her chambers. At 270 feet above the ground, where you can feel the wind actually blowing the tower slightly side to side, there's a lavish door with a heavy lock on it. Knocking, the guard would wait for the thick sliding bolt to be opened, and you would be admitted up. The guard does not enter with you and closes the door, heading back down the stairs. You can hear his footsteps already receding before the door closes. Warden Marta stands before you, still in her robe and a heavy set coat, as it looks like she was just come in from outside. Even at this point in the tower, it is completely glass along the outside, but you did not see a reflective surface on the outside, just the narrow arrow slits. So you can tell it is most likely magically seen through. but the winterscape lies out before you. A small dot just at the edge of the sea of moving ice down by the docks that a crane leads down to, with a rather large ship bobbing. But you can see it just above you, the dark shape of what you assume to be the airship, because there's nowhere else it would be, rigging and strapped to the side of the building. Murda approaches, taking off her gloves. What seems to be the problem?
Wow. Okay, whoa, sorry.
It is a fantastic kind of gathering area. There is a small kitchen. There are ornate things set up for any individual coming in, visiting dignitaries.
Squirrel. This seems to be a bit impertinent and important, and I'm so sorry for disturbing you, but I wouldn't have if... Is it safe to talk out loud, or do I need to...
I believe it is safe enough here. I have found no issues. And people tend to stop at the first 200 feet of steps anyways.
That's good. So you
Please, come, sit.
know... Okay, sorry.
Tea?
Yes, please.
She reaches out and a cup kind of floats off the shelf into her hand. She begins brewing a cup of tea for you while she listens.
So that, prisoner 237 that you brought to maybe help out with, Tanzin's axe. I was trying to... Predicament. I was gonna say, like... Social separation anxiety. Separation anxiety. There, that's what I was looking for. Separation anxiety from her ex.
Yes. What about prisoner 237?
Valish Gant is his name?
Yes.
With the Brotherhood?
I believe he did have connections to the Arcane Brotherhood in Luskan, yes. And she hands you this cup of tea. It's already steaming hot within seconds.
Okay.
Magic, yo.
I don't do magic, but this makes me want to do magic. Now I am with trusted people, and I told you this earlier. They've been pretty forthcoming about their histories and connections and whatnot. But Valish seems to think that... Shouldn't say seems to think. Knows of one of my acquaintances. And...
You spoke with him?
I did. I might have... And I'm so sorry if I got anyone in trouble, but the minute I found out from Jolith that they had a connection, I decided to see what the threat was for my group.
And what possibly is this threat to the Jolith, was it?
Yes. One, he seems to think I'm gonna break him out just because I could sneak past people. I mean, it's just...
Jolith thinks you're going to break him out?
No. Valish, because I had a talk with him.
Well, he's been stuck here quite a while. I'm glad to hear that you are not going to allow one of the largest captures that we've gotten from Waterdeep to just walk free, even though it might kill him in the process of leaving here. I believe he needs to suffer for the things he has done.
What things has he done?
Well, Have you ever heard of the Mad Mage?
As Astro the Mad Maid?
Probably not. Most you would have heard is that the Mad Mage had a tomb that kept a potentially world-ending series of magical devices that was discovered, and nothing ever came of it.
Not particularly, no.
Well, let's just say someone was making a valiant effort in retrieving those items, and not necessarily for the betterment of society. And Valus just happened to be one of the head people.
Is he obviously magic, but definitely a wizard? Can't do much magic without the components, but he still managed to sneak something to one of my companions.
Inmates tend to be very crafty. And no magic user is ever without magic. That's why we try to keep him within his cell. In a number of our cells, we have an anti-magic field that's very strong. It cancels out most people's abilities once inside. Unfortunately, the type of enchantment is too great to cast upon the entire prison, but it also, if we did that, we would lose all our central heating. So,
Makes sense. He seems to think he can get out to have a secret rendezvous with my companion.
he's breaking out of the prison to have a secret meeting outside.
In the storage room. It's still within the prison, but...
Oh, one moment, please. She walks over to a desk that she pulls a couple of pages out, cycles through. Valus is set up for the evening inventory. He's quite good with books, so you use what you can.
We'll have a legitimate reason to be there. Okay. I don't know what he wants to ask of my companion. He seems to think that I help him get out. Blank check, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I said, we'll see what I can do. I'm not going to do it, but I like the side I'm on already.
Oh, good. You'd be setting yourself up for failure if you're discussing with me on trying to break him out.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Or, this would be Tanzan. But, bless her, she's spreading those rumors greatly.
Yes, I have already had a number of work requests to purchase some mead. That might be something we will have to discuss an actual price on sometime. Formally in writing, I'll make sure that it still goes through. But
of course.
What concerns you about this? If you're not going to fakely break him out or supply him with the things that he needs, why bring it to my attention? Something troubles you.
It was more out of concern for my friend. I didn't want him to be ambushed. But if it's all within the confinements and the procedures of the prison, I will be less worried. He's kind of on the run from the Brotherhood. I was more scared that use that as leverage against him. and I want to keep him safe.
Yeah. And you said his name was Jolith,
Yes.
your ally. One moment. How do you spell that? Then she quickly scribbles it out, reaching her hand up, holds her hand above the writing, and one of the pinky fingers glows. Oh. Well, he does have an active warrant out for his arrest and return to the Brotherhood. Apparently some stolen goods. They said it's worth about 4,000 gold pieces.
Oculus is priceless.
Well,
Wait. Sorry. She's like, is it Oculus she's talking about, or something that?
Yeah, it's
Right.
Oculus.
Okay.
Actually, just to clarify, was it the items that are stolen are worth 4,000, or the bounty?
The bounty to return Jolith, who has stolen the items, is 4,000 gold pieces.
Damn.
You're lucky Tanzin's not in the room.
Yeah.
Astra.
Money.
Running with an interesting crew, I see. And I believe that seeing as you are trying not to have your ally found out, you are in need of his services.
yes. He did something for the betterment of the Dale and for the right side, I guess I can say.
Speaking off the books, what was it?
The I don't actually know what it is per se. I'm not as smart as Jolith. I am just
You don't know what he did, but you know he's on the lam.
he's took something very magically inclined from them
I see.
because he had a bad feeling about it being in the wrong hands.
She snaps her fingers and the paper sizzles and burns away. I will pretend I have never heard of that for today.
Thank you.
But my advice would be that if he is still in possession of that dangerous whatever it is, to maybe destroy it.
I'll let him know. Mind you, we don't go around talking about this, just like I don't go around saying what I am, but generally pretty good at keeping a... That's a lie, we're not the best at keeping a low profile. But another question I have, and I didn't get an answer from Beldora when I talked to her. I mean, this hadn't quite come up with her yet, but the hunters, I'll talk about the group that Lucy wants, like, us to investigate the people who attacked Goodmead and then Nerith and stuff, and maybe just, like...
Does anyone remember their full name?
There was Z.
It's hard to say. It's something I have trouble pronouncing.
I have it written down here.
But the group that attacked Goodmead wasn't the same one.
No.
They were just hired hands.
I don't think I remember it.
Pardon me, Diana, I need the book.
As it turns out, he's trying to remember too. When did this happen?
Wait, do I have it in my...
It's Dubris's lodge. But you bring that up. What about the lodge members?
They've been getting a little bit more, ambitious, more brave. A little too organized, according to some folk.
Well, they have been known to cause disturbances in the past, but we haven't found anything to link them to anything.
We were attacked by them.
I mean this in the most polite way, but if I tried to drag every single person in the Dale in that attacked somebody, I'd run out of Dalians. While their organization isn't, while becoming more organized isn't necessarily a good thing, unless they're starting a community support group or kitchen, I really don't know what you would like me to do about it. I can keep my eye on them, but they're already kind of out of the purview of my control, being this far away, and them being in one of the southernmost of 10 towns.
Sorry, I was more, do you have anything else information-wise on them? I realize that they're a little bit out of your purview, but just in case we keep running into them, which, considering we travel with a polar bear, an owl bear, half-orcs, drow, dwarf. I mean, I pass as human, and Lucy mostly passes as human.
Well, as far as I can remember and my experiences with them, they've haven't really been connected to any big movements. Although they are rambunctious, to put it in the most polite sense. There's not really anything nefarious that I've seen about them. They've kept their noses clean, or at least they've covered the tracks enough that I'm not able to follow. If you had some hard evidence,
I might, and I'll pull out the letter that I got off of the body from the leader that I killed.
and what's it say?
The note that to maybe raid the village, but just to scare them and to not like kill people. But and it's got the link for the Zenrithium on them as well. That letter.
That one wasn't actually to the lodge. That was to a mercenary group. That was just passing through the Dale, unfortunately.
The lodge is technically connected to Nerith, though. Because they got a message from him. From one of his sneaks.
I don't have a copy of that. That's...
There is no, like...
Yeah.
There's nothing... There's not physical. It's all...
Yeah.
It's all S-mail? Snake mail?
Snake mail.
snail. And you did mention that one of the speakers is in the pocket of Zenithrium, but he has been honestly revitalizing the town of Targos, and it's never had the most good relations in the Dale, so I'm not surprised that a bit of grime trickled in that way. I'll keep my eyes open, but I can only send out so many guardsmen to pursue. If
Hmm.
you could honestly bring me, I mean, a written confession would be just perfect, but I doubt that you will ever get one, or even verbal at that part. Next time he's in the council of speakers, if we could just get him to spill his guts and rip his shirt off, having the Zenithium sigil on his chest, then we might have something to go with. But
He does have the
sadly,
sigil in his room.
I have the sigil in a book somewhere.
Noted. I'm still working and building a case. I just,
And I understand that. Thank you for making sure I am aware.
just
But
a good speaker was lost, and I feel for the town of Goodmead.
I understand. And hopefully, when they elect a new speaker, there'll be just as good of a man or woman takes his place.
There's not there. But more inquiries about on behalf of the party, but I'm still more in the information gathering mindset rather than, the poke, stab part of the job.
I mean, that tends to be more effective every now and then.
But
I was never much of the stab myself. More of the as like the teacup rattles a little bit as it gets warm.
that's cool. I can only do. Well, didn't say I can only do. Have my own tricks, just not magic. But, yeah, I think that's all.
All right. Well, the only thing I can offer you is passage. By what that I mean is, if things are as dangerous as you say they are, I might have to step out for a bit and investigate this myself. And she would go out and go to her desk, pulling out a piece of paper and fill out basically a slip that slip of paper marking down permission to come in and stay in her room if she isn't present, and let you guys come and go in Revel's End in her quarters, but sadly not in the rest of it. The seal is marked and signed with her, and you can see that she also, as she runs her hands over it, imbues it with a magical signature as well. She folds up this writ passage and hands it to you. This will at least stop any of the guards from stopping you if you are really needing to come in. I doubt the Arcane Brotherhood should be able to reach the hands in here, nor Dubris's Lodge to be able to scurry themselves across these walls without us at least unloading a few ballista bolts into them. That doesn't mean that it'll stop them. No fortress is impenetrable. As we've learned from old Tembercart, that sadly this stone does melt. Feel free to roll a history check.
15.
What you get is Themberchad was a ancient redworm dragon who used to align themselves with the dwarves, and during their uprising tried to fight some of the great white dragons to hold them back as they tried get a better foothold in Icewind Dale. No one knows exactly where he has gone since then. Yeah. It's Themberchad. Themberchad.
Did what Lucy wanted. You know anything about Grim Scully before I leave?
Just that I never want to go there.
Consent. Asher will finish her tea and be that Lucy would love that, and I'm.
Would you like? I could give you a little. And she, again, and you can see just a small container comes up and it wraps itself in a folded origami slip. It's enough for like 2 tea.
Thank you. Lucy will love it.
It's a lovely rooibos. Caffeine free. Perfect for long nights.
I will keep you up to date if anything happens, or even after we leave, we will try to get word as best we can. Might be easier to get to you from where we're going, but you can let others know.
All right. Are you busy this evening?
No, not particularly.
All right. If you would send up one of the guardsmen, I can send out a purchase request for that mead and have them hopefully unload it from your vehicles.
Gonna maybe want to get like another casket for the second barrel. We've got one visible, but one we put in a bag for easy carrying and storage.
No, didn't we end up?
I don't think we did.
I thought
No,
We didn't
end up
put it in the thing.
I thought we did.
We were going to, but we figured out that with the 2, it's possible.
Oh, then
Yeah. Because we talked about it, but then we got the sled and it fixed the problem.
I still thought.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Disregard that.
It's still hilarious to think about, though.
I might have a number of kegs that need refilling. They'll just have to be washed out, and I'm sure more than a few guardsmen will be more than willing to do an extra cleaning shift to get a little bit of mead in their lives. Sadly, I would love to have some of the prisoners cleaning these, but they cannot be trusted to not stick it to the guardsmen a little bit.
No. No.
All right. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
And if you do need anything, just hopefully that written slip will get you access, or at least someone to escort you up here. I know
Yeah.
it'll get you in the door at least, and they'll bring it to me to verify.
That
If
would
I'm not here, you should be fine.
be great. You're a little out of my range otherwise.
Pardon?
There's a limit. I can't just like broadcast to the world.
I thought it was just a very powerful spell.
No. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's
necromancy?
It's definitely not necromancy. No.
Sorry. Old saying.
But that is true. But no. Like I said, unique skill set. Super unique skill set. That's
We'll have to discuss it another time. Good night.
good night. Good night. This is
You would see her turn to head up a slight spiraling staircase that is built into the center of the room, heading upstairs. As she opens the door, you can hear the howling wind and a little bit of snow trickle in as she adjusts a very cozy looking hat.
so cool. Okay.
You are not met by any guards until you are at the bottom of the steps.
I think some people could use more exercise. I mean, it's not that bad. It's only what? It's not that many steps. Psh. Can I leave, or am I?
Yeah.
Do you need help? Do I need to watch with you, or can I go?
Who are you talking to?
The guards. If I get to the bottom.
Yeah, you get to the bottom there, and they'll escort you back in.
Excellent. Okay.
And it's about that time that Tanzin, you and Jameson have finished completely rousing everyone, and the promises of mead dancing in their proverbial bellies. Guardsmen would come down about half hour later with a purchase order and a very fair price being given for the mead of about 4 times what it's worth.
How much is that?
You're looking at about 2,000 gold pieces to be paid as a payment for fines.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Money we'll never see again.
But it dawns close to 10 p.m. as you all gather and share information, or maybe not all the information, depending on what Astra's feeling like sharing, before Jolith is to head out.
There's nothing to hide amongst that. But just extra caution, Joe, about I did not realize, and I will say this in the head so it's not out loud, but did you know your bounty was 4,000 gold?
Is that just to Joe?
Yes, for now, and then I'll look just after. And then after, we'll. So that that bounty, the trying not to, say who Joe is to others, definitely don't spread that around.
I'm shocked and also flattered. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just so you know, and
Yeah. Maybe downplay the price to Tanzan a little. Just
she also said to
just a-
destroy whatever you stole, but I didn't really have the heart to tell her that Oculus was not that threatening in that way.
It's true.
Yeah.
She's going to pretend she never heard your name.
Excellent. And I think then Oculus might live in once. I think I might try to keep Oculus a little bit more on the down low in this prison after Astra. After. Anyway.
Also, side note, Joe has like a nice little hair braid going on, and it's like incorporated his little blue streak.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
But to the group, good job at talking up the price. We're getting a good chunk of gold for it, and we will negotiate the rest of it.
How much gold?
It's all going towards the ship, so you're not keeping any of it regardless.
Well, yeah, duh.
Yeah. You still gotta find money for your bag of holding somewhere else, Tanzan. I'm sorry.
I definitely don't have enough yet for that.
Frankly, if you can get materials and give me time, I could probably.
Oh no, Joe. It's fine. I don't need your bag of holding. I have one waiting for me.
Right.
With her boyfriend.
Right.
Well, he's not my boyfriend yet.
Right, with the boo.
You went on a date.
Well, it was one date.
You might
And-
not be exclusive, but I'm pretty sure he's your boyfriend now.
Well, it is. Items are always best when they come from someone close to you.
Yeah, he took out loans. I don't even know how those work, but he took out loans to make it for me.
Wow, boys got it bad.
So, between the bounty from Shander, which we're gonna hopefully get a little bit more than what I wrote down, I purposely made it low because it's a little bit shady. I know I could get 4,000 for you, Jolith, honestly.
Could we, pretend to turn him in and then get the money and then, free
No.
him?
No.
No.
It's alright, Joe.
I'm just kidding, Joe. And she goes and, pats your head. I'm just kidding.
If we could break him out without it being suspicious, maybe, but there is a pure lockdown on this place that I can sneak around, but getting people out without, no, not gonna happen. And I know the chances. So no. But, so between all that, hopefully we can have enough for the airship. And if you're gonna go talk to Valish,
Take me with you. I can be invisible. or Astra.
I did go talk to him already, so he knows my face, but
But I could make you invisible.
good.
As I'm not opposed to having you nearby at all. In fact, that's why I gave Lucy Oculus. Is if I get into trouble, I can, I can very easily deactivate him without making any sort of ruckus.
Hopefully he doesn't, because it's his duty to be working the storage unit, so it's not like he's escaping. He will be.
Okay. That actually reassures me a little bit more that he's not the man in charge.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely not. He's getting the shit beat out of him here. Have you seen what it looked like?
That could also, in other situations, that could just be for show.
But If
what
you
better
want.
way to keep the ruse? But
If you want, Tanzing can cover us. We can be behind you. We can be near you. We can keep the chain link going of
be nearby. That's what I ask. Be nearby, but let me see what he wants alone.
okay.
No.
Hmm?
And I turn into a little tiny spider and I crawl onto Joe.
They watch Oculus clash to the floor, just not well, almost. Like,
I could catch Oculus.
Technically, he's a belonging. So he comes with me
No.
and turns into a spider too, like part of my belongings. He's not an object, though. It doesn't count.
not to me.
I'm just a little spider.
Well, all right. Well, in that case, open up the bag of holding. In you go.
Wait, you put Lucy as a spider in the bag of holding, or Oculus?
Oculus.
That's when I suffocate.
You go, Lucy.
Do we have to be sneaky, right?
Well, that was Jolith had a plan to request a bathroom trip.
I need to go to pee. I need to pee.
That's fair. I was just like, I have a backup plan if that's the case, but
I will go up to the guards and is there a is there a the lavatory?
There's a spider on your shoulder.
Oh,
I'm like in his clothes.
Oh,
I'm like
that's
hiding.
even
I'm
worse.
hiding.
yeah.
I'm a very sneaky little spider.
Okay.
Don't mind the Don't mind the spider crawling around me. It's a friend.
Hide in one of his braids.
Spider braids.
Spider braids.
A bathroom. Yeah, I can take you down there.
Oh, excellent.
Got your own pot?
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm emptying it for you. It's too cold outside.
Oh, fair enough.
Gross. You.
Takes you through. Eventually goes to a storage room. There are a couple of guards standing outside and one or two inside, but they are very not focused. Once you're inside, you would eventually spot Valish, who is working, counting a number of things, and marking them down as boxes are being opened, counted, wrapped up, prepared, and sealed, and put away. His eyes flick at you for a moment before returning to work. You are led to the lavatory, and you are left alone with your poop bucket.
With my poop bucket. Did the guard so is the guard that led me just outside the
Yep.
lavatory? I have no idea what to do from here because I need to be out there.
I am going to be using my mental empathic link with Daffodil. Ask him to cast Pass Without a Trace.
That the small rock with a daffodil sprouts 2 arms. And wherever you had it stored, assumingly not in the bag of holding.
Nope, that was in the pocket.
You now suddenly have small spindly arms being very creepy as it climbs out, head rattling as it stares up, shaking a hand as it points at you.
I'm like I like my hand gets ready for like a flick and it's just like no.
I like crawl on your forehead.
Yeah, I'm just like
He
hello.
pokes you. casts Pass Without a Trace and then slips back into the rock.
I will. Ooh, I feel stealthy. I kind of take a peek out, kind of like open the door just like a slight bit and take a peek and see where the guard is standing.
He's pretty much by the door, but he's chatting with one of the other guards.
Okay. I will do my best to like just slip out.
Okay, that's going to be a stealth check for me.
Yep, that's going to be a stealth check. Plus 10?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Do I make a stealth check?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can she assist with mine?
No,
No.
she's a spider.
Oh
I
no.
don't know
Well,
what the stats are for a tiny spider, I'll be honest.
it's a good thing I got that plus 10 because 17
Total?
total.
Well,
18.
yeah, you're very focused on things you're doing, Jolith, and you have no idea where Lucy is now. As she has literally crawled onto like part of your goggles.
It's just like, I don't. What the fuck is she?
But even though you think you should be making more noise, you manage to like.
I feel like there's a moment like I bump into like a shelf and a book kind of like falls off and I'm like,
And it like makes a. Like it lands completely flat and like no rattling or anything, just.
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
it's like it's. I picture it too. It's like a little bit bumbling because like, but it happens. It somehow manages to happen at exactly the right moments. Like someone coughs and I scuff, like I
Yeah.
squeak on the floor as someone coughs, or it's just pure luck that I get by.
And you make your way over to where you had seen Valish before. But he's not standing there.
Ah, shit.
But one of the other prisoners notices you there and waves you on.
I go over. Well, that's rude.
One of the canines.
Yeah.
Little hounds.
Now, you are taken from the storage room into the northeastern tower.
Okay.
Sorry, the northwestern tower.
Okay.
Where no guards are blocking.
Oh no.
And the door is slipped in as you go to a spot where normally this would be filled with guards waiting, but they just don't seem to be around. As Valish is standing there. Well, I'm glad to see you did show up after all, and you didn't just need a potty break.
Well, I've
I would
been
be.
nothing if not punctual.
That you have been. Well, my friend, what has brought you so far out to the Dale? Just running away from the Brotherhood now?
Well, it's, you got to see the world sometimes, and I heard that this place is absolutely magical. Yes, running away from the Arcane Brotherhood. Thank you.
Well, this might be fortuitous for both of us.
Really.
Really. I left not the best books of the Brotherhood as well.
Well, might I've suggested hiding out a little more successfully.
Well, I was hiding out quite successfully. But you know, sometimes big movements require lots of space. and lots of space can be pretty eye-catching.
Right.
Do you still have that trinket that was worth your potential peace of mind?
Oh, that thing. Oh, I think I sold it a while ago. You know, just had to. Turned out absolutely worthless. I'm not trying to lie. I'm just being
Yeah.
snarky.
Can you roll a deception?
Okay. Hey, you know what? 14 for not lying.
Such a shame.
Hmm.
Now, besides, has anyone followed you?
No, as far as I'm aware.
No one has followed you here to the Dale?
No one who is. Not anyone who's chasing me, I don't think. I have managed to at least lay low enough.
No difficulty potentially passing through Targos?
Oh, I stayed very clear uh, of that tower.
Hmm. Because are you aware that there are a number of active members of the Arcane Brotherhood in the Dale currently?
I've heard some whispers, which have actually rather disappointed me. I was hoping that there would be at least some God's forsaken corner of this world that they didn't have their fingers in.
Well, be that as it may, that means that they're not following you specifically, I guess. I thought they might be, but seeing that you're here and know nothing of it, that bodes well for both you and I.
Hmm.
Sorry, just quickly checking something.
No worries.
This whole time, Lucy's like, she's got herself like under like a cup or something of Aaron of Joe's arms or something, and she's like she's like very much watching the guy carefully,
Okay.
just scanning him up and down.
You can roll me a insight check then, Lucy.
And right now, is it just Valish and the other prisoner?
Just you and Valish and Lucy.
Okay. Got a 1.
I rolled a 1 for a 7.
You're a little distracted by a fly.
I'm not used to this many eyes.
Yeah. Is there anything I can do to help you?
I mean, I would love for you to remain silent. Just quiet as a church mouse.
That can be easily done.
Of course, and I'm sure you'll do it out of the kindness of your heart and out of, you know, uh, prior relationships well left, aside from one, of course. But
You never really stabbed me in the back.
it's true.
So I can say with all good accounts that about 90% I trust you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Why do you think the Arcane Brotherhood is here, Jolith, if not for you?
I mean, that's actually something I've been wondering myself. Hazard of the occupation we have, isn't it? Can't help but be curious, even if it is to our detriment.
Do you know the history of Icewind Dale?
Only vaguely. Only that it was always the cold ass end of the planet until someone showed up, and then it became the forever night cold ass end of the planet. Like knowing that Lucy's hearing him and being like, "I'm gonna pay for that later, but I just got to keep this conversation going." Got to make him think that like I don't have attachments here.
She gives him a little pinch.
Yep.
Are you aware of the Netheril?
It has come. Some information has come to my attention.
Please tell me what you know. That way I don't need to repeat myself.
I mean, I know very little. Of course, I know the myths. I know that while it's rare, I know that Netherese has been found in several locations around the Dale.
Netherite has been
Netherite.
found. Netheril
Netheril. Yeah, sorry.
is the people.
Yeah, Netheril's the people. Yeah, Netherite. I know that I've heard rumors of Netherite floating around. Aside from that,
Have you found any in large concentrations?
no, unfortunately. If you have a good supplier, I'd love to know their name.
I sadly do not. But I happen to know quite a bit about the Netheril. Some of their items I've come across during my time in Waterdeep.
Okay.
Are you aware of the Nether Scrolls?
No.
They are ancient tapestries of knowledge, said to have taught anyone who reads them the ability to create the world around them. They are said that the most powerful Netheresian wizards were able to bend the very fabric of space-time to their will, just from reading a single page.
Interesting.
They learned to control magic from the weave itself, shaping themselves into nothing less than gods. That's what allowed them to create their flying cities.
Mm.
The fact that there is netherite sprinkled across the Dale means the rumors that one of the flying cities might be near here grows with credence every time. If you can find anything, not only would I reward you handsomely for any piece of information, but if you could get me out, I would be an invaluable ally in assisting you purely academically. We would
Purely
share.
academically.
It might get us both back in the good graces of the Arcane Brotherhood. Maybe as less peons and more management potential. You would be my legs on the ground, of course, and I might be able to assist you in whichever way possible.
So many eyes.
Yeah. What if I told you I had come across something?
I would say please continue. I am all ears.
I need one assurance.
And that may be.
Again, your absolute silence that I am here. binding.
If I had the ability to swear a magic oath to you, I would.
I know. Damn, where are those oaths when you have them?
But how about I give you something better than an oath, and I share with you whatever information I can about the Brotherhood. Tit for tat. You give me this piece of information, and any Brotherhood member you come across, I'm quite familiar with most of them.
What if I told you that I brought the sun back for a brief moment using, fuck, the name escapes me again. The net, was it the
It was
star? Was
the
it
Sun Star?
or the Nether Star?
It was the Summer Star.
Summer Star. We're
Sun-
really smart.
I would say that is something comparable to this. How does it connect with netherite? Or the netherese?
It was a Netheresian device. I came across it in my. I will. I bring out some of my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Ones and like some of my sketches. I very purposefully take out certain sketches that detail mechanisms, that detail the arcane scriptings. Because like I imagine like this, like I imagine these sort of like schematics would almost be like layered on top of each other, so you could kind of like do like that kind of peeling of layer kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I'm only literally showing him the surface most information, nothing that he could actually utilize.
He watches very patiently as you flip through things, and you can see him moving his hand a little bit and kind of mouthing a bit to himself. And when you're finished, you can see the slight bit of arcane energies jumping across each finger, and from the dirt on the ground forms these crude structures that you have shown him.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like twists and moves them like a puzzle, and then puts his hand on top, focuses. Did it look something like this? And then he like moves it, and it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
This one is more spherical, completely smooth, lacks Macretius's unique flair to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks more like a gyroscope with a large central portion.
Mm-hmm.
And it like just barely spins a little bit. Did it look like this?
Yes, the one that I handled was,
He crushes it and throws the dirt away.
and I pack my scrolls away.
Do you know what those are?
I only know them as a summer star.
Cute name.
Hmm.
My dear friend, that is one of the Netheresian's most powerful arcane engines ever created. Those are Mythalars.
Mythalos.
Yeah. Those are exactly what they used. They are such condensed power, somewhat like a neutron star, but given form and safe to handle. Dozens of individuals could be attached to these, and draw from them the power of the gods.
I kind of like I kind of like in half amazement at myself a little bit.
Hmm.
Like I kind of like say kind of a little quiet. It's like I built one.
What was that?
I bite him
Hmm.
in the hand.
Yep.
Wrong hand. Just chink chink.
Yeah. I got
Shit!
like yeah. But no, it's just like amazing.
Make a constitution saving throw.
Ah!
Immediately paralyzed.
Ah!
Just kidding.
Now, there is a problem.
Hmm.
Do you know your arcane history?
Oh,
Specifically. No dancing around this one. If you're unfamiliar with the Netherese, you might not be familiar with their Archmage. Were you?
no, I was not.
Well, Karis, the Archmage of the Netherese, he was said to fight Mistril themselves, trying to take their place as god of magic.
Really?
If it wasn't for the downfall of the tearing of the weave, it would have happened. One of us lowly wizards would have reached the realm of godhood just by pure intelligence, pure design.
Hmm.
If you can find one of these, you and I will not just potentially control the Arcane Brotherhood. We might become those to remove this Frost Maiden from her perch, dispelling all, dispelling her, saving the northernmost butthole of the world, as you'd put it, and also raising the most feared arcane army to head south once again.
Hmm.
But this is all but a pipe dream if I am locked here.
This is true.
You clearly need my information.
Well, regardless of that, it might be some time before I can formulate a clever enough plan. But maybe we'll talk later.
You'll know where to find me.
Always.
He comes up and he goes to shake your hand. He's just standing there, hand outstretched.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Damn.
I give Joe a little pinch.
Yeah, I know. He's just like, I instead of the handshake, I just kind of do a little bow. It's like, no offense, but we
Pulls
all
his
know
head back.
how. It's like, as I kind of bow, it's like, no offense. We all know how potent the touch of a wizard can be.
True.
Fine. I shall take you at your word, Mr. Grismon. And I shall remain silent. for now.
And I will heed that.
Come check in soon. It's nice to get visitors.
I'm sure. Should I leave first or should you? I'm very bad at clandestine. Like this is.
Well, I have to do some paperwork upstairs, so please feel free to leave as he turns to head up a staircase.
Okay. I will try to make my way back to the lavatory so that the guard doesn't suspect that I'm away.
You easily slip in, and then a little while later, there's knocking. Are you all right?
Yeah, just a minute.
You've been in there a while.
Yeah, I look at the bucket.
I know a lot of
And
fish will do that to you.
I cast grease and I fill the bucket with grease.
No.
And I kind of just do like a little bit of like this.
Before Joe actually like turns and leaves, I'm gonna jump off of him
Okay.
and I'm gonna follow after Gant, Mr. Valish,
Okay.
Valish Gant. I want
I-
to just have a look see at his paperwork.
Okay.
I kind of like. Do I see you like jump off?
I don't know.
I felt your bite a couple of times.
I'm being sneaky as much as I can be.
You're being sneaky.
Yeah. With 21.
Damn. Nope. I'm splashing grease. Just a little bit of.
Takes you out and like opens the door as you like chuck the grease out, and he's like, "Oh,
Oh.
Maybe.
You.
Sorry. I kind of like hold the bucket. Sorry.
yeah, let's get you back in.
Sorry.
Maybe one of the. We'll find someone to. Maybe a chemist." And I'll just be right back in a second. I need to use Lou.
Yep.
While we're talking about bathroom jokes,
Yeah.
this motherfucker, guys.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I want to be a god mage. What?
He had as soon as he said arcane engine, it's just like, and
Is it bad that I think he's cool? Like, I think this guy's
Yeah.
super cool.
He's kind of a dope ass villain.
Yeah, I'm liking him. I'm liking him. And mostly because actually, ooh, oh no,
Oh,
I have to. This is a danger roll. Oh no.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do this together.
All right, ready? And...
1, 2, 3.
Oh wait. Oh.
Oh.
no.
I got a 14.
I got a 6. So
Hey!
like I think he's attractive, but like not my kind. You know, like yeah, it's like maybe if the lights were off,
Paper.
loud music.
Oh.
You did say you were into older.
This is true. Like that's the even part, right? You know, like odds or evens. If they seem a little older than me, I'm like,
That's funny.
Interesting.
oh,
Did he say crass?
Karis.
Karis?
Karis. Karis?
There's a book series I'm reading, and there's a character in it called Karis, but he's like a nice guy. And then there's like another book series I've read, and it's a woman named Karis, and she's like a badass. I'm just
what was the name of that archmage again?
It was Karis.
Karis? Okay.
But it is spelt.
And like the Mythal are like really powerful wizards.
The Mythal was the device.
No, but he said something about fought the Mythals? Or did I hear that wrong?
You heard that wrong.
Fought Mistral.
Mistral, thank you.
Yeah, fought
That's an M
Mistral,
word.
the god of
magic.
Yeah, god of magic.
And Karis
Is that Mythal?
Mystryl. Mistral. Karus is spelled Karsus.
K-A-R...
S-U-S.
Karsus.
Karsus?
Karsus.
Karsus? Karsus?
Karsus.
Sus?
Yeah.
Archmage of
sus.
Nether Things.
Mistral, Karsus. Then the device was called
Mistral.
a Mythalar, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's Mistra. That's what it is. There isn't an L.
No, there is an L.
For the goddess of magic?
Yep.
Yes.
Mystryl.
Maybe it's a different one.
You thinking of Mythal from Dragon
But
Age?
that definitely got stuck in my head, for sure. That's why I'm really confused about all this Mythal stuff.
I think it's
Unless it's just gods have different spelled names, and that's okay.
Mistra, mother, was a greater deity in the second incarnation of the goddess. Sorry, I'm just looking at a wiki thing. This is not stuff that we technically know, maybe. But her predecessor, Mistral.
That's it. Okay. There's like
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
All right.
So Mistra is the current one, but
Mistral was who Karsus fought.
Yeah.
Got it.
But
okay.
we don't know that there's a difference aside from like the name.
No.
Or
that's fine. I just
might be
wanted to clarify.
You might be like, huh, I thought it was Mistra. Like, no, he certainly said Mistral. It's like,
yep.
He's not keeping up on the deification deity law.
Yeah. It's probably it's probably an ancient version of that, in the change and shifting of languages, time and space.
But, Lucy, you had wanted to check the bookkeeping.
Yes.
So
I just wanted to see what he's doing.
He is actually just doing the books. He is definitely in the guards tower, but there's access to get out, and he could run across the tower and then jump into the sea of moving ice. But he does not have cold weather gear on. He's standing by just anything to get warm. And he is doing the books, having to warm up the ink with his hands to try get it to write a little better. And watching him for 5 minutes.
Nothing suspicious?
Nothing more suspicious than what you've already been seeing.
Alright, I mean, he literally just was like, I can become a god mage, so...
Now gotta do the taxes.
Okay. I'm good. I'm happy. Just had to know.
You might see him make another arcane little structure that looks like the Mythlar and tap it a little bit and smile before crushing it very quickly and throwing the dirt on the ground. But
does he do any evil monologuing about his true plans, or is it...
Sadly, no.
Fuck.
Obviously, we didn't go to the Disney School of Villains.
God.
Obviously would have learned about monologuing as an essential part. You must always be monologuing, even when no one's around.
He doesn't break into song about his shitty backstory and parents. I will go back to Joe and try as much as I can to seem like I didn't disappear at all.
As a spider. Making your way back now that you have found your spider friend. And your poop bucket fully greased. You find your way back.
Thankfully, the grease disappears after a little while, because it is magical grease. But it's...
Gross. What a great idea, though. What a way to make someone not fucking ask any questions. Knock, knock, you pooping?
Oh, it's really bad! But I'll come back And I'll once we're all kind of together in a private area, I'll relay all of that to everyone.
As it nears close to midnight on the 17th day of Hammer, you have caught your friends up. The night has settled in, and Revel's End doesn't seem to sleep. The rotating shift, always having people resting, the kitchen's always going, and even without the light, the only thing that seems to tell the time is the panopticon that dims slightly as the prisoners are given time to rest. But as opposed to the inky blackness that sits outside, the only pitch black, the only time light does not enter here, is as you move into your own rooms and close the door and will the lights to dim. Here is where we will end this session.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys come in, potentially to catch up, Uale and Fuso, when we start next session, where books will be processed and you guys will be the shiny new owners of a very heavily discounted airship
Yeah.
for your one-way
So
ticket.
excited for this stupid airship.
Yeah.
Are we hiding all this from Jameson, by the way? Can we
Yes.
just tell him there's a maniac in
Well,
this fucking...
I don't know.
Also, I like how we were like, oh no, there's gonna be like an evil mage, and guess what? We found him.
Yep. He has the knowledge to make the stars work again.
Yeah, but what he would do with them is definitely worse than what we would
I
do with
know.
them.
I mean, but you know what? Not we. Asked.
Get something to eat super quick before we start and finish talking with the rest of the group about our things. But I will see a chunk of y'all in a little bit here or later on tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will hopefully have these episodes up in the last little bit. I just have to keep going through and editing them. It Lightworks is taking a lot of effort. So, yeah, I will talk to everybody in a little bit or on the next stream that we have. Have a good one, everyone.